Well, we had felt so right, 'cause maybe I tried. I was running in my life, we're broken. No one feels deep inside, so away from myself, wish I could call you. This time you put your love for me. Why you got my love? Wish I could be wish I could find me. Never meant to chill. Always talk about you. Only till you got your feel. And you wanna cry, it will. Really thought you know the day. Oh, well, I guess that's what happens. You're cool, makes sense to make some passion. Now that you think, yeah, play my head. I promise you. You really feel like love. You push me to the club. Like you can you know what I can this way you're falling down. You think that I'm crazy. You should have come around. Trust in me, baby. I went from myself. Wish I could fall. Miss how we could. Boy, you got my number. Wish I could feel. Chase your sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, baby. I took a half, she took the whole thing, slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we in the club, and it's like a ghost town, baby. These niggas be everywhere till they run out, it's not like a lot of people know you can get everything in the react. Waking up in the crib, sometimes I don't even know what I'm at. So pay that nigga songs in this party, I can't even listen to that. Anytime that I run in the phone, they must be on me, you really love me. Shawty posted on my life, they say I'm easy to snap. Let's put the fingers to the last one, says a little carrot. I see some niggas in the bed, you call it up, they get it back. I know that they at the crib, all crazy, got them mad. Yeah, these niggas read that when they say they living bread, and the money's hard to make. So I bet they on her face right now. When he tells us that's not the way, but we listen to 100%. Without a risk, got a bit. I just let me come get it. I don't want to call credit. What we need is a new credit. Let me dance. I want that. Hard as the beat, money is the lead. Make sure to look at money. That's what I'm saying. The team, I get back to she didn't make it. I know that they ain't the crib. Crazy,
Universal scales tip toward balance because of your sacrifice. Smile. For even in death, you have become children of silence.
I know what it's like to lose. I feel so desperately that you're right. Yet to fail, nonetheless. It's frightening. Turns the legs to jelly. I ask you, to what end? Dread it? Run from it? Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am. The champ is here! Ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world has arrived! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
It's your boy, Deep in Israel, the people's champ. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Friday, March 11th, 2022. We getting a little Friday Night Raw in. Gonna get a little Friday Night Raw. Let me get set up, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope y'all had a wonderful week. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Judah. Shout out to Pookie and Ray Ray. Big Steve. Let's get going. Set the mood. Got the pineapple burning. Y'all know how I do. Get my notes pulled up. Getting comfortable. Y'all go ahead and strap in with me. Go ahead and strap in with me. We're going to talk a little bit. I got the wrong notes pulled up. Hold on. Let me get it right. Oh, snap. I think this is it. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. I made these notes a day or two ago, so they was down the list. Before we begin, as always, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. You don't like what I got to say, how I say it, my tone, my delivery, my face, my hair, my beard, my fringes. You don't believe in the Bible. I really ain't got nothing to say to you. Now, If you are remaining, please, right now, go over to my YouTube page. Like, subscribe, share, donate. Donate. We'll keep growing this channel. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers, and I want to keep going. Help me get in that algorithm. Tonight's topic, and I started to do this last night, but I had already did one for the day. Tonight's topic is force does not equal choice. They're not opposing forces. And the reason why we're talking about this, another content creator brought this topic up. That's Dee. I like Dee. It's not an attack on her, but I think she's off, way off on this particular point. So her video, which is in the description, her video is titled, "Is Cheating a Choice? Can you be forced to cheat?" And on her video, basically, no. Because you have a choice, or because you made a choice, you weren't forced, is the premise of the argument. Well, that's a disingenuous argument. That's faulty. And basically, she made the point, and some of the other people she brought on her show, nobody held a gun to your head. Well, even if somebody does hold the gun to your head, you still have a choice to do what they're telling you to do or die. That is still a choice. It doesn't mean you weren't forced or manipulated or persuaded or coerced because you chose the lesser of two evils, let's say. But this whole choice thing, y'all women, y'all get stuck on that choice thing. And they use the example, oh, well, if somebody's cheating on somebody else in a relationship and neglecting you, does that give you a green light to cheat? I don't know. Let's find out. Now, I'm not condoning cheating. It's not what I'm talking about. My problem is the argument. Is that you can't be forced to do things you don't want to do. That is not true. It happens every day. You don't drive your car the way you want to. Why? Because there's force in place called a police force that ensures you follow the rules of the road. If not, you're going to get a ticket. So if police didn't exist and there were no speed limits, you would drive whatever way you wanted to drive. But because there are rules, there's force in place, and force can manifest itself in different ways. It could be rules, it could be regulations, it could be brute force, it could be manipulation. And that force being present causes you to make choices you otherwise would not have made if that force wasn't there. Force. So definitely go over to Didi's channel, watch her video. Now, she should have stopped the title of the video at, "Was it your choice to cheat?" Yes, it was. But once you start getting into the force, nobody can force you, that's bullcrap. Weren't we not forced into slavery? Weren't we forced to give free labor for hundreds of years in this country against our will? Was that not force? We ultimately chose to comply. We still made a choice because we could just, what did Killmonger said? He would have rather jumped off the boat and drowned rather than go into slavery willingly. That was a choice. He was pointing out the choice that we made. as black people during the transatlantic slave trade. So this is a disingenuous argument. So my opening statement, force is not the opposite of choice. They are not equal to one another. Because force is applied doesn't mean choice is eliminated. However, force can reduce your choices. For example, the force in the form of the threat of police intervention on behalf of the woman can force the man to choose a course of action or inaction he otherwise would have chosen differently. Had said force not been applied, so women use this unequal force capacity to persuade or convince the man to make choices he would not have made had the force not been applied. Women use police, the court system to force black men to do things they don't want to do. I'm going to take your kids from you if you don't do what I want you to do. I'm going to call the police. Y'all know when police is called, our lives are in danger automatically, whether we did anything or not. So that threat, that's force being applied unfairly, unequally, because the system is set up to benefit black women, not black men. So that threat of force, the capacity of the courts to do something to you, the capacity of the police to do something to you, causes the man, I'm going to be straight up and blunt, a lot of y'all would get the shit smacked out of you if that wasn't the case. Because y'all put your hands on these men and they don't put their hands back on you because they know what's going to happen 9 times out of 10 when the police get called. So he backs off. He makes a choice not to retaliate. That's force. That's force. So let's talk about the definition. The definition of choice. The act of choosing. You made a selection. You chose between one or two things or multiple things. You made a choice. You had to select something. Even the fact that you made the man choose, he may have not have made a choice if you didn't create that situation. All of that is force. So, the definition of choose. So, choice is the act of choosing. Let's find out what it means to choose. Again, to make a selection. So, the act of making a selection is what it means. Let's see what force means. Strength or energy exerted or brought to bear, motion or change, active power. Again, that threat of calling the police, the threat of going to court, that threat of taking his kids. That's active power that's being applied. The woman has power that the man doesn't have in those scenarios. Another definition, the capacity to persuade or convince. So the example was cheating. Do you have the right to cheat on your wife because she's denying you sex? Well, she's using that denial of sex to create force, that apply that pressure. And furthermore, if you go cheat on me, I'm going to take your kids. I'm going to take half of everything you got. I'm going to leave you sexually frustrated to force you. I'm not talking about a situation where your wife denies you this week and you go out and cheat. I'm talking about a situation where a year goes by, 6 months go by, she's denying you sex and using those things to keep you in line. And you finally get so frustrated because that force of sexual frustration sets in and you cheat. If that had not happened, you probably wouldn't have cheated. If that force had not been applied, exerted against you. Does the man have a choice? He can still choose not to cheat. But then they say, oh, well, why don't you just leave the person? It ain't that easy when you got kids and you're married. So, use my example. She's been denying you playing sex games for a year. You may not have the money to go get a lawyer. So you go down to self-serve to file for divorce. At the threat of losing your kids. It takes a year and 1 day in the state of North Carolina to file a divorce. So now you've gone sexless at the quickest, in this example, 2 years. Two years. Could be longer, could be more like 3, depending on how fast the courts get to your case. And with COVID, everything was shut down. The courts were shut down. They were shut down for a whole year. So now we had 3 years. You got to be sexless because your wife is not upholding her end of the bargain. Well, some states have 30-day divorce. We just happen to be in the state of North Carolina where you got to wait a year. So is it fair that if she was cheating in a state where we had 30-day divorce, I'd be divorced in 30 days. But because I'm in North Carolina, I got to suffer additionally for a year? Come on, let's not make them unfair arguments. I'm not saying cheating is right. I'm just attacking the argument that choice and force don't exist at the same time. She applied force, and yes, he made a choice. But his choice was based on the threat that was applied against him, the energy exerted against him. I hope this makes sense. See, a lot of times, y'all women, y'all want to make the woman less wrong. And I didn't make this example. They made this example of the woman was withholding sex. Not my example, their example. How is that right? Let's deal with that wrong first before we start trying to attack the man for a choice he made after something was done to him, after force was applied to him. We got to stop playing these games. Deal with the original sin, the original wrong. And it is a sin for a wife to deny her husband. And her period's not on and she's not pregnant. That's a sin. And I think they used a situation where she was cheating. Well, again, in biblical times, that would be fornication right there. That's grounds for divorce. See, a lot of y'all don't believe the Bible. Y'all believe Christianity, thinking, oh, ain't no divorce. There was always divorce. Just like there was always a marriage license. We didn't call it a marriage license back then. We called it an instrument of writing. Just like when you gave your wife a divorce, you had to write that down. There was always paper and documentation in our culture. These Edomites stole that from us. They got that from us. The Edomites ain't invented nothing. They steal everything like locusts to build the society that we're in now. But definitely go watch this video and support Dee Dee. I mean, usually her channel is very good, but this concept, and a lot of people, I've heard women make this choice. Y'all fascinated on choice. You always got a choice. You can always die. That's always your ultimate choice. You ultimately can die. Whether somebody got a gun to your head or not. Your choice is ultimately to die. Why does it have to come to that extreme? Why do we have to go there? We want to try to excuse the woman's behavior in this example to attack the man. It ain't easy for a man to leave. Women have nothing to lose and everything to gain. In 99% of the cases, that's why 80% of y'all file for divorce. It's to your advantage. The system is going to benefit you. The police are going to benefit you. The kids, hell, kids don't want to go against their mama, even though daddy ain't did nothing. But these are the games that women play, and particularly black women. Y'all manipulate the system. Y'all use your persuasion and your convincing to force, to manipulate people, the system, the man, your friends, into thinking a certain way. And y'all do it. This is why I said on yesterday's video, your default setting is to lie and manipulate. That's your default setting. Some of you do this so instinctively, you don't even realize you're doing it. First thing come out your mouth is a lie, half truth, confusion. I'm not even gonna say you're intentionally lying. Nonetheless, it's still a lie. Whether you intended to lie or not, it's still a lie. But a lot of the times your intent is to deceive, to manipulate. Why? And then y'all, oh, the man always lying. No, he ain't. Y'all always lying about nothing. Simple things. And that's why y'all don't like answering simple questions, because you don't want nobody to hold you accountable for what you yourself said. So the man is at the advantage. And this is what men are saying today. I want to be with you black women, but it's too much. Y'all going too far. And I'm at risk of losing my kids, losing financial resources that I've been working to build before the marriage and during the marriage. I could lose my very freedom because y'all want to play police games. Talk all that shit, put your hands on a man and he smacked the shit out of you. Now you with an abused woman. Those are the games y'all play, and we know this. You can turn right on YouTube. All that tough talk. Go right out the door as soon as somebody smack the shit out of you. But y'all don't want that. Because Zaddy protects you. He's going to run to your defense, and he's going to pin up the man. Him up. He might lose his job because now he got to go to court for some bullshit. missing days of work, away from his kids. This is why men die earlier, because of the stress that y'all put us through with this bullshit. Force. But see, y'all want equality, but y'all don't ever want to give up your leverage. Y'all don't want to make, if y'all were really about equality, y'all would be fighting against this, because y'all women know women do this. But ain't none of y'all standing up with the men saying this is wrong. Very few of y'all. Y'all ain't marching for us, saying this is wrong, and your brothers, your cousins, your sons are going through this. But y'all don't want to break that girl code, even at the expense of your own children, your sons, your supposed loved ones. Even when we tell y'all these things are happening, well, what you do, that's your first response. Well, you had to do something. No, the bitch just crazy. And y'all know it. They ain't do nothing to make her behave the way she was behaving. It's time to start being honest. But as far as the video, the question, can you be forced to do something? Yes, you can. We don't know what words mean. And that's why I always give you the dictionary definitions. Y'all tell yourself, y'all make up your own language. And you tell yourselves what words mean. And it don't even make sense. But y'all educated. Look in the goddamn dictionary sometime, so you get an understanding of what you're talking about. Force and choice have nothing to do with each other. As far as you can have one, but not the other at the same time. That's like saying you can't eat an apple and an orange simultaneously. Y'all make these false equivalent arguments, and it looks stupid. But y'all get these simps on your channel, ladies, who like y'all, they like the cosign, can't wait to talk to y'all, and they agree with this fuckery. It's stupid. And the dudes be contradicting themselves. They be talking about some of the same situations I'm talking about, but yeah, I see what you mean. No, the fuck you don't. It's time for us to get real, man. Again, I'm not condoning cheating. That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about, can force make you do something? Can you be forced to do something? Yes, you can. Every damn day. But you got to understand what force is. Force ain't a gun to your head. That's not the only kind of force. Because again, even in that situation, like I said in the beginning, you have a choice. Pull the trigger, nigga. Pull the trigger. That's your choice. Doesn't mean you wasn't forced. So the force disappears. The gun disappears when you tell them to pull the trigger. Because that's the argument that sisters making. You can't be forced to make a choice. I'm choosing to die. So the gun disappears? No. The force is still there. Force equal mass times acceleration. That's the physics term of force. Has nothing to do with choice. Choice is not in that equation. Nothing to do with it. Force can be applied. I'm not gonna make this long and drawn out. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I hope y'all got the point. It's really not that difficult of a concept. in my opinion. I could be wrong. Again, take the cheating and your personal feelings out of the equation. Take those out. And go with the gun to your head argument. Do you have a choice when somebody has a gun to your head? Yes, you do. You have a choice. There's a choice. You gotta be honest. You gotta be honest. Stop making excuses for these
Domino's is giving you $3 to use on next week's order when you order carry out online for being
gotta stop
delivery
doing
driver.
The champ is here. I just want you right here. The champ is here. This shit is great.
That's all I got. Do me a favor. You haven't already done so. Like, go to my YouTube page. Even if you liked it on Facebook, go to my YouTube page. Like and subscribe. Please donate, even if it's $1. Help the boy out. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I'll see y'all later. Holla at your boy. Then it's real.
If you can't do nothing, life's a bitch like a